That airstrike came just 3 days after the Assad regime used chemical weapons in an attack against its own people. 60 Tomahawk missiles launched from 2 destroyers, the USS Porter and the USS Ross, located in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. The strike targeted an airfield for planes used, the airfield that the planes used to drop chemicals on a Syrian village, killing or injuring scores of men, women, and even children. Senate was briefed about the attack in private by U.S. military just this afternoon, and I spoke with Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen shortly after that meeting.
Look, there was not a lot of new information in the classified briefing, and my views remain the same as before it, which is that the targeted military strike against the Syrian airfield that was used as the launching point for the chemical weapons attack, that our proportionate attack on that was justified, and it's important to punish the Assad regime for their use of chemical weapons. It's a gross violation of international law and a violation of the agreements we've reached. At the same time, I'm opposed to the United States getting dragged into the Syrian conflict in a broader military sense, more boots on the ground. And it's really important that the United States Congress be engaged in a full debate on the important issues regarding Syria.
Well, if this was just about punishment for the use of the chemical weapons, if it's not about regime change, where do we go from here? Where does President Trump go from here?
Well, it's about 2 things, right? It's about punishing the Assad regime for using chemical weapons in gross violation of international law and the agreements. It's also a signal that any future use of chemical weapons will be met with a military response. But you're right, it doesn't answer the broader questions about the way forward.
Yeah, Syria condemning the strike, no surprise there. Russia condemning the response, no surprise there. What's the relationship with the Russians going forward? What should it be?
Well, the Russians have played a very negative role in Syria. They've essentially helped, Assad, and they're in many ways complicit here. They had been part of the original agreement to get chemical weapons out of Syria. Now it's pretty clear the Assad regime held on to some of those chemical weapons and just recently used them. So the Russians have a lot of explaining to do with respect to the chemical weapons attack by the Syrians. And they've got to play a more constructive role now in a political solution in Syria, rather than simply being there for Assad.
Thanks a lot for your time, Senator.
Good to be with you.